The Food Mentoring Toolkit is designed to build capacity within agencies to deliver consistent nutrition information and food programming that support key messages from registered dietitians. This video is part of a series of videos and supporting resources. For a list of all the resources available, see the Food Mentoring Toolkit section of the Saskatchewan Health Authority website. If you are interested in providing this nutrition information session for your clients or staff, facilitator guides are available for each topic to provide important background information and support. Please email your public health nutritionist at publichealthnutrition@saskhealthauthority.ca to access your free facilitator guides. Welcome to the Food Mentoring Toolkit video on food label reading. In this video, you will learn about nutrition facts table, ingredient lists, front of package nutrition symbols, supplemented foods, and nutrition claims. Food labels help organizations to know what's in the food product and make informed food choices. The government requires some features to be present in the label. Those are nutrition facts table, list of ingredients, and for specific products, the new front of package nutrition symbol. Food labels can also include nutrition claims, which are not required by the government but are optional statements provided by the manufacturer. First, let's talk about the nutrition facts table. Most packaged foods must have a nutrition facts table. The table includes serving size, calories per serving, these 12 core nutrients per serving, which are fat, saturated fat, trans fat, carbohydrate, fiber, sugars, protein, cholesterol, sodium, potassium, calcium, and iron. Those are expressed in units such as grams or milligrams. The nutrition facts table also includes the percent daily values or percent DVs per serving. Information on the nutrition facts table is based on a specific amount of food, referred to as a serving size. Serving size represents the amount of food usually consumed in one sitting, and it is based on a reference amount. Reference amounts serve as a basis to determine what is considered a single serving of prepackaged foods. This is not a recommendation for how much food you should eat or drink. The serving size makes it easy to compare similar foods and know how much of the nutrients you get from a packaged food. Compare the serving size to how much you usually eat or drink. If you eat or drink more or less than the serving size, then the amount of each nutrient you consume will be different than what is shown in the table. For example, if the serving size for a beverage is 250 milliliters, but you drink 500 milliliters of the product, then you will need to double the amount listed for each nutrient. The percent daily value shows the percentage of nutrients in a single serving that contributes to the total daily intake of that nutrient. For example, if the percent DV for potassium in a product is 10% and you ate one serving of the product, you would have met 10% of your daily potassium needs in that serving. It is important to note that the percent DV column does not add to 100%, and that the information is based on a diet of 2,000 calories per day, and you may need more or less than 2,000 calories per day. The percent DV also shows whether a food has a little or a lot of certain nutrient. 5% DV or less is a little, while 15% or more is a lot. You can use this as a quick reference for nutrients you may want less of, such as saturated fat, as well as to identify foods that may contain nutrients you want more of, such as fiber. Use the nutrition facts table to compare similar foods to determine which is a more nutritious choice. You might be looking for options that are higher in iron, fiber, calcium, or potassium. You might be looking for options that are lower in sodium, sugar, or saturated fats. Also use the nutrition facts table to select your foods for special diets. For example, if you are preparing foods for someone with diabetes, you can use the nutrition facts table to look at the amount of carbohydrates a product has. Now, let's talk about the ingredient list. The ingredient list is a list of all ingredients in the food product, listed in order of weight. This means a food contains more by weight of the ingredients found at the beginning of the list and less of the ingredients at the end of the list. Some ingredients at the end of the list may appear in any order, including flavors, food additives, seasonings except for salt, added vitamins and minerals, and flavor enhancers like monosodium glutamate. Use the ingredient list to determine if a product contains a certain ingredient of preference or avoidance. For example, for religious or cultural reasons, a participant may avoid pork. Use the list to identify which ingredients are most present in the food product and to avoid a food product in the case of a food allergy or intolerance. For example, by looking at this ingredient list, you know whole milk is the main ingredient. All sources of sugar are grouped together as the second ingredient. And if you are allergic to milk, you should avoid this product. Now, using what you have learned so far about the nutrition facts table and ingredient list, we are going to look at three nutrients, saturated fat, sugar, and sodium, to compare these cereals. As you can see, product B cereal has less saturated fat, less sugar, and less sodium compared to product A. Now, we will look at the front of package nutrition symbol. As of January 2026, prepackaged foods are required to include front of package nutrition symbol for foods that meet or exceed specific levels for saturated fat, sugars, and sodium. The new front of package nutrition symbol is black and white and includes a magnifying glass. Why these specific three nutrients? Regularly eating foods high in saturated fat, sugars, and/or sodium can lead to an increased risk of stroke, heart disease, type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, and some cancers. Front of package nutrition symbol will help people make quick and informed choices when grocery shopping and support educators who are teaching how to identify foods high in nutrients that can negatively affect health. These are some examples of what the front of package nutrition symbol look like. Here's an example of a product high in saturated fat and sodium and a product high in sugars. This is what the front of package nutrition symbol looks like on a product. Now we'll take a look at supplemented foods. Supplemented foods are prepackaged foods that contain one or more added supplemental ingredients and have a distinct set of regulatory requirements. Supplemental ingredients can include caffeine, minerals, vitamins, and amino acids. Some examples of products where you may find these ingredients are beverages or bars with added vitamins and minerals, and beverages with added caffeine. For example, caffeine is added and marketed as an energy booster. Some supplemented foods may require a limit for consumption, may not be suitable for some individuals, or may not be suitable to be consumed with other supplemented foods or supplements. Some supplemented foods can pose a risk to health if consumed in excess by the general population or by those who are pregnant, children, or other vulnerable groups. These products must carry a caution identifier and a caution box on the back or side of the label. The box will provide information on who should not eat or drink the product, to limit the number of servings per day, and to not eat or drink it with other supplemented foods or similar supplements. Look for the word caution near the supplemented foods fact table and read the statements in the caution box to help you decide if the food is right for your consumption. Supplemented foods have specific label requirements and they must have a supplemented food facts table. Take a look at the supplemented food facts and compare it with the nutrition facts table. As an organization, be aware that caffeinated energy drinks will contain the following on the label: the statement, high caffeine content, a supplemented food caution identifier, and the cautionary statements, not recommended for those under 14 years old, pregnant or breastfeeding women, or individuals sensitive to caffeine, and do not drink more than X servings per day. Caution is recommended when offering these products to participants. Here is an example of a caffeinated energy drink label. Now, we will talk about nutrition claims on food packaging. Nutrition claims are optional statements chosen by the manufacturer to promote their products, and they only focus on specific features of a food. For example, good source of vitamin C. Foods must meet certain criteria in order to include a nutrition claim, and there are two types: nutrient content claims and health claims. Nutrient content claims describe the amount of a specific nutrient in a food. These claims can help identify foods that contain more or less of certain nutrients. You may see statements like low in sugar, reduced in sodium, free of saturated fat, source of fiber, high in vitamin A, an excellent source of calcium. Here are a few examples of nutrient content claims. The second type of nutrition claims are health claims. Health claims provide information on the possible health effects a food product has on the body or the effect on risk for developing a disease or condition. These are regulated by Health Canada. Examples include consuming fiber from coarse wheat bran promotes regularity. Vitamin D helps build strong bones and teeth. A healthy diet rich in a variety of vegetables and fruit may help reduce the risk of some types of cancer. And oat fiber helps lower cholesterol. Nutrient content and health claims are optional and chosen by the manufacturer to promote their products, and they only focus on specific features of a food. It is important not to rely on these claims alone when making food choices, as they do not guarantee a food product is the better choice. For example, a product may say fat free, excellent source of vitamin C, or made from whole grains, but it could still be a highly processed food. Always compare the nutrition facts table of similar products to determine the better choice. To recap, the key takeaways from learning about food labeling and packages are: use the nutrition facts table and ingredient lists to compare similar foods to determine the more nutritious choice. The front of package nutrition symbol can help identify foods high in saturated fat, sugars, and sodium. And caution is recommended before offering supplemented foods. This ends the food label reading video. You can refer back to the Saskatchewan Health Authority Food Mentoring Toolkit homepage for additional resources on this topic and to support learning on other important nutrition related topics. Please let us know what you think by completing the short survey using this QR code or use the link in the video description. We hope you found this information helpful and we thank you for listening.